All right. BP Hero is here. We are live. I did want to get in here just a couple minutes earlier. I said I was starting the podcast at 11. Probably going to wait like 5 minutes or so just to give everybody a chance to file in, to get the live notification and then come in. Had some technical difficulties with the computer this morning, so I wasn't able to. VO2 on lock. What's up, buddy? How's everybody doing this morning? Already up to 13 viewers. I like it. Like I said, I'm going to wait maybe 11:05 tops and then get it rolling. I'm doing all right, guys. Kids are out of school today. I say kids. The boy is out of school. He's 9. He's in school. Daughter's home from daycare, and my wife is in the other room. So there might be a couple of distractions. You might hear sound like somebody died somewhere, but trust me, all is well. So they might come up banging on the door and that kind of thing. But we're gonna go on. This is El Natural podcast in my natural element. Set that down right there. What's everybody got planned for Easter? Is everybody gonna have a good weekend? What's up, Jay Sam? Yeah, Brett, I'll be at BMAC this weekend. I think we play ABC Squad at 11, I think is what I said. Hey, what's up, Ross? Beard game is kind of strong. I actually need to do something about it. I mean, it's kind of driving me crazy, but it's too much time consuming. I really need to buzz my head is what I need to do, and I'm going to hit the beard while I got the clippers out. Blues hockey. Oh, man, Blues hockey. I don't know. I'm not a big hockey fan. I know that the Blues are playing well and stuff. That's cool. But it's just not for me. I'd rather go play ball this weekend. Send your ass off this weekend. Jesus didn't die for nothing. That's kind of messed up. But you know what? That's all right. You're my friend, so you can say that kind of stuff. Yeah, Dalton, the standard issue still kicking, man. It doesn't show any signs of slowing down. There's no seams or zippers or anything like that on it. Couple more minutes here, guys. We'll get rolling. And something that I want to do as well, I'm probably going to try and ignore the live chat while I've got this going, just so I can kind of stay focused on what I've got going. If I get through everything, then I'll just kind of like chill with the chat for a little bit at the very end of the podcast. That way, people that are watching this later can kind of catch up with the podcast, and listen to and watch whatever. I mean, there's nothing to watch really, so you can listen to the content of the podcast, and then at the end, if you want to, listen to us kind of chat, through the live chat, me talking to you guys and that kind of thing, that's cool. We can do it that way. So I think that's how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to try and ignore as much of this as I can. Just like get you guys out of here. I am. Speaking of sharing, I do need to share this around. You guys can do the same if you don't mind. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm actually going to post it on the BP Heroes Facebook page. So if you guys wanted to go do the same, that'd be cool. I'm going to post it on there. You guys can share it around however you want to do it. Some support is better than no support. So it's however you guys feel the need, you need to do it. And I do, sitting here now that I'm looking at it, I do need to order some more hats. I actually sold a few hats this week. So I'm out of extra large hats right now. I'm hoping to have that situation fixed here pretty soon. Man, this computer will go here. As soon as I get this posted, we're gonna let her rip. Maybe. My computer's screaming for dear life right now. Man, Twitter. That's one thing I need to get about the Twitter, I guess. Everybody uses, hell, even the president uses Twitter. Apparently I can't figure Twitter out, so I need to get with the Twitter game, I guess. I'm going to Not that I am old, but I'm going to age myself here a little bit and say I just don't understand Twitter. So maybe that's something I just need to get into. So now that I've done a few of these, do you guys still digging the live podcasts? Anything you want to see different? Maybe do have something have done different? Would be cool. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Had YouTube yelling at me here. But is there anything you guys want to see done different or anything like that? I would like to set it up like a studio and do something like this. But the problem is I don't have anywhere to do it in the house. And quite honestly, the backdrop of my daughter's bedroom is not something that I want to have in the background of my podcast. So maybe it's just something where I need to get a studio, or maybe even just set up something somehow to where I can like have a backdrop behind me. I don't know. Snacks, or well, double bagel, whatever we call him, Snacks. The problem with doing it in the garage is then you get a lot of echo. That's my kind of complaint with that. This microphone does good at really blocking out like background sound, because there's a wall 2 feet from this microphone, and it's not picking up a whole lot of that, but just the garage is really boomy, and like when the wind blows, it pops the garage door. So I have explored that option, but not something I'm really looking into right now. Ooh, bat unboxings. That's something I could do. Maybe not on the podcast, but as I get a new shipment from softball fans, I could, go live and do that. Yeah, I do plan on getting some more conference players on the podcast. I'm going to reach out to a few here. I get that going pretty soon. Kevin Bazat is local to me, and he and I have talked a little bit about maybe having him on the show, so that'd be kind of cool. Davis also wants to come back for another episode, so that'd be pretty cool. Matt Bryant, what's going on, man? Double bagel, bring back Throwback Thursday bats. I need to, man. I'm honestly trying to stay caught up on the 19 content. I've actually got a couple I could do Throwback Thursdays with, but I'm trying to get caught up on the 19 content. I'll cover that here in a minute. That's one of my topics for the podcast, but it's something I do want to work on getting for you guys is some more Throwback Thursday stuff. So it's 11:06. I'm sitting here rambling. So goodbye for now. Boom. So BP Hero Podcast, Season 4, Episode 5. What's going on, guys? We've I don't want to do daily or weekly podcasts. I know I did one last week. I got another one coming this week, and I still plan on doing it every other week. So I wanted to get I was due to do one this week anyway because the one last week was late. So I don't have a whole lot to talk about today. I'm going to do just a few topics, some softball related, some not, and then do a little bit of Q&A, chat with you guys. I'm on a little bit of a time crunch. My wife has got some plans that she needs to get going this afternoon. So it'd be a little bit of a quick one, but I still hope you guys enjoy it. I like doing these. I love doing the live stuff. So we're just going to get rolling with it. I don't know if anybody had a chance to watch the Hall of Fame Classic last weekend, USSSA Hall of Fame Classic. There's a lot of good games. Mainly, I wanted to mention there was a lot of things. There's a lot of good games to watch, a lot of really good plays. But shout out to TDB for playing 19 games in 4 days. That is just crazy. For those that don't know, the Hall of Fame Classic is basically a dual tournament. Just to kind of make it worth the trip for everybody and just to get you a lot of points as far as the Conference U-Trip points. It is a conference-only event, so you have to be part of the conference to participate. And basically it starts on Thursday and runs through all day Thursday into Friday. And then Friday morning is the championship of Friday morning afternoon is the championship of the first tournament. And then I think this year they even started the second tournament while the first tournament was finishing up. While the championship game was going, those guys weren't going to be needed to play in that second tournament, so they went ahead and got the second one going. Basically, it's just 2 tournaments smashed all together into 4 days. TDB placed, I believe, third place and won the second one. For those that didn't watch, they played 19 games in 4 days in Florida, at the top level of softball. I can't even imagine. I think they were, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think they were 6-2 in their first tournament, and then they dropped a game early in the second tournament and ended up having to play 11 games, and it was pretty much all back-to-back-to-back all day long, just grinding it out. The conditioning that it takes to be able to do that, and especially shout out to like guys like Andy Purcell. Dude's 49 years old out there pitching at the top level. Just, it's insane. He didn't pitch every game, no, but 49 years old out there pitching against the best teams in the country, killing it. You got guys like Brian Zirkle. I saw a little factoid. In those 19 games, in over 4 days, he ran. He's their TDB center fielder. For those that don't know, he ran 60 miles. He ran 60 miles in those 19 games. That's counting time in the outfield, time running bases, and I think Davis said even when they do those stadium tournaments, they are 80-foot bases. So, consider that in. That's another 40 feet you got to run every time you run the bases. Dude, I can't even run a mile, yet alone this dude's out here running 60 and just killing it. I knew there was guys cramping up, and there were some teams you could just see them just kind of just run out of gas. They hit the wall and kind of fell off. But it's impressive to watch. I really enjoy watching that tournament. DW is doing a good job of getting the live feeds going and keeping everything going. The Facebook stuff was kind of hit or miss, but USSSA live stuff was good. Probably my only complaint, which I'm sure he's already heard about, not that he's listening or anything, but my only complaint with it, if anybody else was watching and can relate, that the ads were playing basically like right in the middle of it at bat. He did a little better at getting that ironed out and got that going. And it was good that they broke up the game, so you don't have to look for Fenway Field and then guess which team is playing. It's when a game is over, that live feed cuts off and another one starts, and so that's kind of cool. It'll help him with the archive too. If you want to go back and watch a game, you can go back and watch a specific game instead of pulling up an 8-hour feed of a field and then kind of sifting through it to figure out what you need to find. So hats off to them. They did a great job streaming everything this weekend, so that was pretty cool. Eric's son says to get DW on the podcast. That would be cool. I don't know if that's something he would be interested in. Like I said, I know almost for a fact he probably doesn't listen to this. So that's something that maybe I could look into, reach out to him. I have sent him a few messages just about some random questions and stuff like that, and he's always willing to answer, and he seems like the type to want to talk softball and that kind of thing. So maybe that is something we could look into in the future for sure. That could go along with having conference players on the show, so that'd be kind of cool. I mean, he's obviously not a player, but he is just about the authority in reporting conference UTRIP softball. Next thing I do want to discuss here just for a minute. Man, I'm so frustrated with myself. I said in the last podcast, footage is coming, guys. Got all this footage coming and everything else. I messed up. I was working on just a little bit of honestly, just some personal stuff with the camera as far as swing goes. I went with a little lower resolution on the camera so I could run a higher frame rate and kind of break down something I felt like was going wrong with my swing, and forgot to change the camera back and messed up the focus on it as well. So there is one review that's coming that will be 720. It'll be 720p. So that's kind of a bummer. It's not life altering or anything. It's 720. The frame rate recorded will be a little higher, but it's going to have to be 30 frames once I get it onto YouTube. There's something I would like to experiment with for those that don't know a whole lot about frame rates and things like that. The smoother videos, like especially when you see someone record with a GoPro, the smoother a video looks and like less hitchy it is, that's usually because of a higher frame rate. It's a smoother thing. Basically, you can look at a frame rate as they say 30 frames a second, 60 frames a second. And basically, how that works is there's say if it's 60 frames, there's 60 pictures and they're all smashed together, and then they run through them in 1 second. So every second is 60 pictures, and it kind of goes through that way. Kind of like if you draw a picture on the corner of a book and then zip through it with your thumb. Kind of consider it something like that, but there's 60 of those in every second. It takes up a lot more film, so that's something I would need to prepare for, and the resolution that I like to record in is not something that the camera that I use can do, so I may have to experiment with maybe getting a new camera, trying something different. But nonetheless, so I messed up. I didn't realize it because I shot one review that day, and then I fixed that problem. I realized that I did that, but I also messed with just some of the focus settings. Just I was trying to experiment because I'm not going to use this footage, so I was messing with a couple of focus experiments too, and forgot to set those back. So I shot 2 more reviews with the focus, and man, it looks like I filmed it through like the bottom of a Coke bottle. It's all blurry and messed up. So I was pretty frustrated about that. So that's why the lack of content has showed its way back up, even though I was promising some there. I got some good stuff coming soon. And probably I've got a review done. I just need to voice over it. So I might do that this afternoon and post it. I'm going to try and vlog tomorrow, playing softball tomorrow, as long as the weather holds out. I'm going to try and vlog tomorrow. I know you guys enjoy those. I want to do some more of those. Especially, now I've got a feel for the guys that I'm playing with. They're all, cool with the YouTube stuff and, that kind of thing. So vlogging and things like that would not be a problem. It's not like I'm going to be out there vlogging during the game or anything. But, some people just get kind of weird when people just drag a camera around with them. But, yeah, this group, man, they're awesome. So I'm really looking forward to getting a little bit of vlog footage in and messing around with that, especially in the St. Louis area where I've got a lot of friends that play softball. One other thing, transitioning from the camera stuff to our next topic, which is take better BP. Whether it be, even your BP partner, it's something maybe the both of you can work on. I think something that does get kind of lost in taking BP is maybe you don't want to spend $150 on a pitching machine, or some people have trouble adjusting to the Louisville Slugger pitching machine that I use. Some people have trouble adjusting to that, or maybe just want to be pitched to. And that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I've hit off that machine enough, I'm pretty sure I could close my eyes, hear the sound, open my eyes, and still have time to hit the ball. Just because I'm used to how the machine works. I'm used to how fluent it is and that kind of thing. But maybe if that's not your thing, or maybe if you don't want to drag the machine around with you, or, people don't want to use the machine, one thing that can benefit you more than anything is just to learn how to pitch. Throw a BP strike. You get so many people, oh, yeah, well, I'll come up there and pitch to you. And probably got no business doing that. No offense to the people that try, because, it's better than nothing. But at the same time, just putting in a little bit of time to learn how to at least throw a BP cookie could really bail you out. And, make your BP experience so much better. It's going to better you as a player. It's going to better everyone else on your team. If you say you learn how to pitch and you're the BP pitcher, at least you've got a pitcher. I've hit with some teams. I've even heard some teams talk like, we'll go take BP, but we don't have a pitcher, that wants to go BP with us. So it's, it gets interesting sometimes. You just swing at everything. That is, personally, I think one of the worst things you can do. You become a bad ball hitter doing that if you're good at hitting bad balls. I've seen some people, man, it doesn't matter. You can throw it behind them. They can find a way to hit it. But generally speaking, one of the best things you could do, and yes, I've been talking about it since last year, is kind of a pitching tutorial video, something I'm going to do here soon. I'm kind of getting back on this grind with... Sorry, I said I'd ignore this live feed. I'm sitting here looking at it. Sorry. I'm trying to get back on this grind with, just posting some random content other than podcasts and BP reviews. But being a pitcher can make you better, because it's going to make, your BP better. It's going to make everybody else's BP better. It just helps everybody as a team. So that's one thing you can do. On topic of the pitching thing, you got some pitchers that want to come out and throw knuckleballs and be cute and learn how to throw a curveball. And listen, that's cool. I'm glad that you want to work on being a better pitcher, but let's do that at another time. This is batting practice, not pitching practice. That's probably my number one rant, is people out there just wanting to chuck knuckleballs and throw curveballs and be cute and throw the church league spinners. And that's cool. You want to work on that stuff. We can do that when we're done hitting, but right now we need to work on hitting. There's no better way. Me personally, I'm sure I speak on behalf of a lot of people when I say that there's no better way to lose your patience than dealing with that while you're up there trying to hit. You get 1 out of 10 pitches that are good because your pitcher's up there trying to do something cute or look funny, or he's trying to learn how to throw a knuckleball, and all it's doing is just killing you. You get up there, stand there, watch 9 pitches go by. You swing at the 10th one because you're tired of watching them go by. You get tired of bumping them back, and the balls roll all around, and it's just a disaster. It's batting practice, not pitching practice. Save that for another time. And along terms with the better BP stuff, it is okay to hit BP with hard balls. You get so many people, like, somebody may post a video on Facebook of them hitting their new bat, and sounds like you're hitting stadiums. Well, yeah, we're hitting stadiums and 525s or long haul bomber balls or whatever else, and then they get ripped on for doing it. Like, yeah, every video that's on social media of someone hitting a bat is not a tryout video. Maybe that's just them doing what they enjoy. It's okay to hit hard balls in BP. I personally am one that doesn't mind hitting hard balls in BP. I don't for my videos just because, one, it doesn't give me a good gauge on a bat. If I hit a bat with normal balls and then like get to stadiums and the 525s out for a different bat review, that's not going to give me a good gauge on a bat because, of course, it's going to hit better. And like I said, I just don't want to listen to the YouTube trolls. You're hitting rocks. Anybody can hit a home run doing that. Hit a 52, blah, blah, blah. But if you're not looking to film, like most people aren't, and if you're just looking to build some confidence, hit some hard balls. There's no better way to do it. Absolutely no better way to do it. It breaks in the bats, which they don't need a whole lot of anymore, but there still are some bats out there that need some work. And, you hitting the hard stuff kind of brings you to the next point of, bats cashing in quick. Buy some bats for BP. You get so many guys that want to go out and, hit all these stadiums and do all this stuff, and then they complain that their bat's breaking 200 swings. Bro, you've got 10 bats in your bag, but you can't spare another $50 to go buy a BP bat to hit with. It drives me insane. You get guys that, spend, $2,000 on softball equipment, then they're hitting BP with, leftover league balls from 2 years ago, in just nothing but junk. It's just, I shouldn't say counterproductive. Any PB is better than no BP. But BP the right way can make a huge difference. And I guess that's kind of the message there is, you want to hit hard balls, do it. Just buy a bat that you can do it with, like a 2015 Easton, a 2016 Easton. They're not going to blow your mind performance-wise, but you're also out there to get swings, and you're not out there to see how far you can hit the last ball. Okay, I hit this one 350. Let's see if I can hit this one 355. You're not out there to do that. You're out there to practice your craft and better yourself at things. I do think that there is, kind of a fine line of, no, you don't want to take 10 rounds of BP with a kind of a turd bat. Finish your round of BP with your gamer. That's something I like to do. Like, usually when I go out and hit, I take 2 rounds. My first round, I'll, do whatever I'm doing. And then my second round, I'll do the same thing, just doing my stuff to get my reviews in. And then whatever balls are left, I'll pick up my gamer and usually put 10, 15, maybe 20 swings on my gamer just to kind of get acclimated again, get the feel for that, and, give myself a gauge of what I'm hitting like in a game. Because that's something you don't want to finish on bad PP. One thing, if anybody's ever hit with me, they know one thing I will not let you do is not finish on a hit. And I'm not going to let you, your last swing of the day is not going to be a ground ball that would just be a cookie ground ball to the shortstop. I will walk, run, jog, whatever, to get somewhere to get a ball for you to hit another ball so you can finish on a hit. It's all about building confidence. BP builds confidence. If you're not doing it the right way, it can do nothing but hurt your confidence. One other thing, speaking of better BP, is I think a great investment, you're talking about things you could buy. BP balls is a great one, whether you get Evil BPs, which, I prefer with BP 52 Plus, BP Rocket, even just some game balls. If you found a good deal on some game balls, you've got leftover game balls, that's fine. But draw the line. If your game balls start sounding like socks, throw them out, because you're not going to build any confidence hitting a ball that goes poof every time you hit it. So keeping some fresh BP balls around and buying a screen. Buying a screen is a big one to me. Not even so you can stand there and practice gassing middle, bro, or anything like that. But, the pitcher's going to have better peace of mind knowing they're not going to get blasted every time they throw a ball up there. And it gives you the ability to kind of maybe work around the pitcher. Maybe you want to work the right side, but you can't without hitting the pitcher. Or maybe you're just not completely unfamiliar with it, which was me at one point. Anytime I tried to hit a ball the right side, it was a line drive back up the middle. But, I've practiced that craft. I've gotten better at it, and that's because we have either hit somewhere that has a screen or we have a screen that we would carry with us. I have now bought my own screen. I bought a Jugs Light Flight. Absolutely love it. Breaks down in no time. Throw it in the back of the car. It's compact. It's small. Packs away. You never know it's there. Now, that is something that's kind of pricey. I think I gave like $180 for mine. BP screens are something that also needs to be something that has a little bit of investment in it. You don't want to go out and buy some, $50 screen you found at Dick's because it was cheap. I can tell you from personal experience, I'm not going to put any pictures up, But if you are personal friends with me, or maybe, I think I've even showed it in a couple of podcasts before. I accidentally think I actually put the picture up in a podcast one time, and I forgot to do a thumbnail, and that actually ended up being the thumbnail for the podcast until I changed it. I got hit in the mouth with a ball. We were using, basically it was kind of like a fast pitch screen. It had flaps down low where, basically you could wind up and pitch, and the ball would come through the screen. And they have Velcro covers that go over the top of them. And the Velcro is very good Velcro. I mean, the guy that I was hitting with hits the ball very hard. He and I both had peppered balls off that thing and never had any issues before. I guess the screen must have got hit just right one time, and then, we didn't do anything about it, maybe because we didn't see it or whatever else. It's been so long, I can't remember now. But the next ball came through, and I threw this pitch, and I've hit so much BP with this guy. I knew where the ball was going the second I hit it. So I threw the ball and got behind the screen. I just kind of turned, stand to the side to watch this ball whiz by because I know it's about ready to. I hear the crack of the bat, and it was literally just pop, pop. I didn't even have time to think, react, anything. Basically, what I'd heard was the ball skip right in front of the screen, and then the pop was it came right up through the very, very, very edge of the Velcro, which is practically impossible to do. And the ball actually hit me. It didn't even hit me in the mouth. It hit me kind of like to the left of my nose, and basically just crushed and caved in. What do they call it? I can't remember what they call it. Your palate, I think, which is basically like your gums. It crushed my gums, broke 2 of my teeth, and kind of got a little bit of my nasal cavity too. But they ended up not doing anything about that. But by the time I was all done getting everything fixed, because I had to have. I went to the ER with my teeth at an angle. I had 2 teeth basically cracked and fractured and pointed at an angle towards the back of my mouth. And I left the ER like that because we were in a small town. There was no orthodontic surgery, anybody on standby that could do anything for me. So I left the ER with my teeth basically just pointing in the back of my mouth that night, and had to sleep like that, get up, go to the dentist the next day. And probably one of the most cringeworthy things I've ever done. I've had a lot of injuries from playing ball and whatever else. I've had stitches, and dude, I'm gonna be real with you. We ain't even gonna talk about it, but I've been shot with a gun before, so I've been through it all. Had stitches and everything, staples, and dude, one of the worst things that I've ever had to experience is getting that fixed. And that right there told me, like, I will never ever hit BP with that guy again. I'm just playing. But be mindful of maybe who you're hitting BP with, the situations you're putting yourself in. But they had to basically numb the roof of my mouth and grab my teeth and just pull them back, and just to get them back into place. And the broken bones, the broken bones kind of crunching around just to get the teeth back into place. It was awful, absolutely awful. And I've actually got 2 fake teeth now because of that. The moral of the story, I'm kind of getting off topic. The moral of the story is basically that decision to maybe not make sure the screen was secure. Well, it's like I said, the screen was good. We've used the screen 1,000 times. It's been in a bunch of my videos. But maybe just to not make sure the screen was secure after it had been hit or anything like that. It cost me about $5,000 and a couple of teeth. Cost me, 4 oral surgeries. It was just a disaster. So when you're going to buy a screen, buy a good screen. That's the message there I'm getting out, I guess. Spend Spend good money on quality BP equipment, whether it's balls or screens, or, go out and get yourself a bat that, you can, hit BP with. If you take the time to put the money in to your BP equipment, it's going to pay off. There's no way it won't. Now we're going to get just kind of off topic here for a minute, then we'll get into some Q&A, because I have been asked this by a few different people. I mean, I am a YouTuber. Slow pitch softball is my thing. But what else do I watch on YouTube? What's your hobbies? If I didn't play slow pitch softball, honestly, I'd still have a YouTube channel. Like say I decided to be done with this YouTube stuff tomorrow. I just enjoy making YouTube content. So I would probably kind of keep the YouTube thing going, but I'd probably kind of change directions to go maybe more towards the car scene. I'm a huge car junkie. My dad was a mechanic from the time he was 14 years old, and he just retired last summer. So, the car stuff is just kind of in my blood. I absolutely love cars. I've had, a few different project cars. I love performance cars. I love handling cars. I love classic cars. It's all awesome. So if I were just to say screw softball and pick a new hobby tomorrow, it would definitely be cars. So as far as like stuff that I watch on YouTube is car oriented. Obviously, you got like guys like Cletus McFarland with his twin turbo caged Corvette. Yeah, Double Bagel says LS swapped the world. That's right. You got Cletus McFarland. This is all stuff you can look up to. You got Cletus McFarland, and he's got a twin turbo Corvette. He's always building some crazy stuff, out hooning the crap out of cars. Hoonigan is another one. Ken Block is kind of a part of his company. That's what he does when he's not out doing his wow, gosh, I went blank. What do you call him? Gymkhana videos. Those are pretty wild. I like watching those. Faster Proms, which is where Cletus McFarland, they share the same shop, and they're always doing some performance stuff. Like right now, they're working on one of the Chevy, what do you call it? Chevy Caprice police cruisers. They bought one and been working on modding it and everything else. That's kind of cool to watch. Sloppy Mechanics, dude is really good at making something out of nothing. He's all about throwing something together for cheap and just kind of proving YouTube and the whole internet wrong. He built like a 1,000-horse Chevy Colorado out of just like junkyard parts, and it trolled so many people with that thing. He's working on building an 8-second quarter-mile car for $8,000 right now. That's kind of a cool series to follow too. I've been watching him for a while. A 1320 video, which I'm sure probably everybody's heard of just from Facebook or YouTube or wherever else. They're a humongous channel, probably one of the biggest car channels, in that niche. They've always got good content, always covering some cool cars and that kind of thing. Something that's new that I've been watching is a guy called Rob Dahm, D-A-H-M. He is actually, I'm a Chevy guy, I'm a GM guy, especially I like my domestic cars, but I do have appreciation for some of the foreign cars and the foreign scene and in the DSM cars and non-domestics. But he bought a Corvette, took the LS engine out of it. I'm a huge LS engine fan for anybody that speaks car stuff. And he took the LS engine out of it and actually put a Mazda rotary engine in it. He's finishing up that swap. He's going to actually try to get into LS Fest with this car, which is coming up, and I think next weekend or the weekend after. So that'll be interesting to see if they let him in. But that's kind of a cool swap. Just do something different, That's my big thing. That's the thing about cars that are so unique. You can personalize a car and make it yours in any way possible. To make it yours, where there will be, for a fact there can't be another one on the planet just like yours. I think that's something that's always been unique. And I kind of catch myself doing that with softball stuff too. Like when I was wearing the farmer's gloves for BP gloves, and that kind of caught on. It was a trend, and then Miken came out with the KP gloves, and I just kind of walked away from that. Like it's too mainstream. Like I ain't about that life, so I just kind of quit using them. I still use them every now and again. I've still got them laying around, but I'm just not about mainstream, and I guess that's kind of mainstream. One other car video channel that I watch is Tom's Turbo Garage. He's built a few pretty cool cars. He did a Mazda MX-5, which is basically a Miata. He did a Mazda MX-5 LS swap, and it looks like it came from the factory. All the factory gauges work. That is something, if you are into cars and into any of that kind of stuff, you need to go check that build series out. It's very impressive. He made that car look like it came from the factory with that engine. And right now he's working on doing a Toyota Tacoma, I think. He's going to LS swap one of those and put a turbo in it. That'll be pretty cool to watch. He does great work. Very satisfying to watch him do that work. So I'm interested to see how that goes. LRG Sports says the Boosted Boys live just down the road from me. Yeah, the Boosted Boys are pretty crazy. I've seen a little bit of their stuff. They're pretty wild. I do like that they try to build something out of nothing. And what is it? They got the Honda-Roo. They've got a Subaru with a Honda engine in it. That's kind of cool. It's just for the trolls, man. Just to get people upset. But off topic of the cars and stuff, softball stuff that I watch. Forgive me because I know I've got some content creators in here, and I'm sure that there are going to be others that listen to this. I mean, I get them all. But the main softball channels that I watch, we got David Velasquez with Senior Softball Bat Reviews. He's always got stuff. The Fat Guy BP, he's fairly new at getting some BP getting some BP reviews going. Been checking this stuff out. He does some good content. Jamie Baker is also another really good bat review guy. He gives a good, honest opinion. He swings a lot of stuff, so he can give a good opinion. We need to encourage that guy to do some voiceovers, though. He's all bashful and quiet about it. But, to me, voiceovers aren't like make or break, but man, it's so convenient to listen to what someone has to say about a bat while, they're hitting it. That's kind of what, kind of sparked me doing that instead of like me typing down in the comments or in the description everything about the bat. I end up getting questions anyway because people scroll right past it. So to me, that's something that is pretty cool, is being able to voice over videos. And if Jamie doesn't want to do it, that's cool, man. It's whatever. It's your content to create however you want. That's the big thing is, you've got guys out here, wanting to do their BP videos or, whatever it is. The big thing is it's their content to create however they want. Like if this guy wants to stand up here, I'm just using an example. I haven't seen this. If this guy wants to stand up here and hit backside every swing, or maybe his video is just working on him hitting backside. That's cool. It's his content. He can make it however he wants. But to me, man, it's just such a unique niche. I love it. Off topic, sorry. But yeah, anyway, Jamie Baker, I really like his bat reviews. The guy swings a lot of stuff. He's a good hitter. And he's very humble. He's going to give you an honest opinion about how he feels on something. So I really like his reviews as well. And Dynamic Softball is another one. Our guy Davis, he was in the podcast with us a couple episodes ago. Doesn't post a ton of content, but the content that he does post is quality. Guy's a great hitter, obviously, as we discussed. So it's cool to see him get out and do some BP and that kind of thing. Maybe, I saw him in the comments earlier, maybe he can give us a little bit of BP insight. Maybe what he works on or maybe what he focuses on when he takes BP, if he's still listening. Maybe that's a video you could work on, Davis. But diving into some Q&A, I was going to go over some more YouTube stuff that I watched, but YouTube, I shouldn't say YouTube. My audience absolutely hates Fortnite. I watch a lot of Fortnite videos. Nick Merck, Cypher PK, Tim the Tatman, Ghost Aiden, Nick A30, and Dakotas. But anyway, had to get that in there real quick because I know there are a few people that watch it, but for the most part, let me move this over here. Sorry, hang on just a second, guys. But for the most part, Fortnite is the scum of the earth to the softball community. So I won't bore you guys to death with that. Getting this Q&A ready to rock and roll here. And then we will dive into it. Really like doing this stuff because it kind of gives me, some topics to kind of think outside of the box with. There we go. Kind of gives me some topics to get outside of the box with, and maybe something that you guys want to hear talked about. That's really why I enjoy doing that. It gives me an opportunity to make sure I'm talking about things that you guys want to hear about. Diving straight into it here. Ryan Turbo Jackson asks, is there any tips for a new pitcher to help place his fielders? To me, I guess a new pitcher, old pitcher, experienced pitcher, I shouldn't say old, but, whether it's somebody that's new to pitching or somebody that's been pitching for a while and, it's kind of like maybe kind of take the reins with, trying to position his defense or do stuff like that. You've got to be firm in what you're saying. And the worst thing you can have is, I guess this kind of goes back to the teammate thing I did in the last podcast. Your teammates have to trust you, especially as a pitcher. I mean, you're basically the quarterback for your team. You're what makes this machine work. So if I'm going to put somebody somewhere, I did that for a reason. And yes, it's not going to work every time. Like I've had players play behind me. Like as a pitcher, I've had players play behind me, whether it be at shortstop or middle or even second base. I'll try and position someone, and then kind of pitch to them over there. And maybe the hitter sees that. Maybe the hitter just decided to do something different with the ball, and goes right where I just moved somebody from. It happens. It's going to happen everywhere. It is frustrating. It is beyond frustrating. As a pitcher, it's frustrating. As a fielder, I've been on that end of it too. As a fielder, it's frustrating for sure because it's like, bro, I was just standing there. But you've got to trust your pitcher. I guess that's the first message is, as a fielder, trust your pitcher. You've got to trust your pitcher. If I'm moving you somewhere, I'm going to try and get you the ball, because that's the thing is so many pitchers, you're not going to get anybody out. You're not going to strike anybody out. You're not going to get anybody looking or anything like that. So you've got to try and manipulate this hitter to hit the ball where you want it hit. Whether it be you stack up the right side or you stack up the left side, you pinch the middle a little bit. One thing that you can kind of see in a hitter's, setup, if they're closed off, they're probably looking to hit middle or push. They're probably not going to pull a ball. I'm not saying that they won't, but 9 times out of 10, maybe not even that. Sorry for the bad example of numbers there, but regardless, you've got to kind of read the batter too. Or maybe if a batter fouls a ball off, then it depends on how you know your batters. If batters like to foul their first ball off or try to push their first ball, then stack up that right side. Speaking in terms of a right-hander, stack up that right side so when he pushes the ball, it's going to be right to somebody, and then bust that guy. You can do it one of two ways. If you know that guy's going to be stubborn, if you know your hitters, and you know that guy's going to be stubborn and try and hit a ball over there, even if you throw it high and inside and on his hands, which I have seen, you've got that guy. You've got him beat. The second you pitch that ball high and inside and he tries to hit it and rolls it over to first base trying to inside out the ball because, maybe he's good at it, maybe he just missed that one, or maybe he's just a stubborn hitter, that right there is a prime example of pitch to your defense. Set those guys over there, give that guy, either a pitch that he can't hit over there that he's still going to force over there, or let him hit it over there. That's the other thing too, is especially – as a pitcher, you're seeing somebody that I know likes to hit middle, or they're set up to kind of, maybe turn their body and hit a ball at me. Like I'll move my middleman behind me, pitch, and then fall out because I'm close enough. If it's at my feet, I'm just not going to get it. So I've got a middleman behind me. Let your fielders work. Throw the ball to where it can be hit to someone, and it's going to help everybody. You're going to get your outs. You get big outs that way, really big outs that way. Knowing your hitters makes a big difference. But as a new pitcher trying to place the fielders, you just got to tell your guys, like, look, trust me here. Because it comes down to you. You've both got to do something. They've got to do their job, but you've got to do yours to get them the ball too. So, look, trust me here. Even if it didn't work the first couple of times, hey, we're learning. We're going to get through this. This is how we're going to get outs, so we just need to focus on it. Because a good pitcher and middleman, even your infielders in general, but your middleman's your big one because you don't want to cover him up. You don't want to be in his way. And, likewise, he doesn't want to stand behind you either, unless that's literally what's been told to be done. I've done that before where I feel like somebody's going to try and hit at me. I'll literally just put the middleman in my back pocket, throw the ball, and I'll field it if I can. If I can't, I'll get out of the way. But 9 times out of 10, you just need to communicate. Make sure you're not covering yourself up because you're giving up holes doing that. So you just need to tell your guys, look, trust me here. It's not going to work every time, but if we can do this consistently, we're going to get outs. I am going to kind of turbo through this. It is 11:40. I told my wife I'd be done about 11:45. I am going to get to all this Q&A, but it's probably just going to be quick. I didn't realize what time it was when I dove in on this, so I do apologize. I may open up the door here and just kind of let the kids in, see what's going on with the wife, and then chat with you guys in the live chat here for a minute. Once I'm done, but I'm going to go ahead and smash this Q&A out here real quick, and we'll deal with that in a minute. Thoughts on Pure Sports backlog, people crying about it. The insane prices on the buy-sell trade pages, the outsourcing to China for their two-piece bats. That was a question from Ryan Johnson. I don't know a whole lot about Pure Sports being on back order. I'd heard a couple things about it, but I don't know for sure what's going on there. Honestly, I'm just not up in the swing of that thing right now. But I have heard that they basically stopped taking orders because they're behind. To me, that is a good move. I mean, you don't want to keep collecting money and make people wait. I do know there is people waiting already. But they did the right thing by shutting down, taking more orders. You're just going to do nothing but compound the problem by doing that. So kudos to them for that. The message that, you do have to convey there, though, is make sure you're still putting out quality product. Don't rush and get stuff through just to get it out the door so you can get everybody their stuff so you can open up orders again. Obviously, you've made a lot of money if you've got, bats sitting there on orders. So, take your time, get your stuff done. I think it is a good move on their part to be like, hey, look, we've got a lot going on here. Let's do this instead until we can get stuff going again. As far as the outsourcing their bats to China, their two-piece bats to China, dude, who cares? There's so much crap made in China, you can't get away from it. Like, you are probably sitting on or around something that was made in China everywhere you go. I'm not a big fan of that, obviously, because you'd rather have business here in the United States, but it happens, especially with, bats and everything else. Like, just because it says made in USA, it could only be assembled in USA. A prime example of that is Vizio TVs. Vizio TVs are assembled in USA, but it's a pretty naive thought to think that everything in that TV was also made here. I mean, you get so many stuff coming in from overseas every day. Just because it's assembled here doesn't mean the products that was assembled the products used to assemble it was made in the USA as well. Not the case with everything, but it is the case with that. Ben Ashley asks, one MLB player that you'd like to see play conference ball and one conference player that you think could play in the MLB. Just hypothetical based on skill sets, obviously. I'm going with Joey Gallo and Stephen Lloyd. People are going to laugh at me. One person that I want to see play conference softball, two actually, Prince Fielder and Matt Stairs. Dude, the big old hacking lefties, man. Just get up there and swing as hard as you can. Vladimir Guerrero would be another one. Their swings are just so violent. You give that guy a good bat, put it in his hands, and just watch some balls go to the moon, dude. I mean, he'd not be able to do anything else but hit home runs, but they kind of fit the stereotypical softball player build, Matt Stairs and Prince Fielder, that is, kind of being the big heavy set guy. But I guarantee those dudes could hit some absolute dongs. So that'd be kind of fun to watch. As far as a player that I feel like could play in the MLB, it's kind of hard to tell offensively because you're talking two different spectrums as far as offensive production goes. Hitting the softball is so much easier than hitting a baseball. And a lot of these guys, especially at the conference level, are former MLB players too. So that's something to consider as well. But defensively, for sure, Stephen Lloyd, dude's a freak. He's a freak of nature athlete. So good. He would excel at the MLB level defensively, I feel like. Offensively, like I said, the guy's good enough of an athlete. He'd probably do pretty well. Another one is Corey Briggs. Corey Briggs, a phenomenal fielder. You can put him anywhere in the field. He would be a fun one to watch too. Double Bagel says Freddie Bynum. Freddie Bynum would be another great. A dude's a really good athlete. Another one of those players you could put anywhere defensively. Don't know what he would be offensively, but like I said, that's kind of to be applied to anybody. Next question, Ryan Johnson, thoughts on playing in an outlaw tourney in Vegas? No bat rules, no ball rules, middle's closed with a net, unlimited bombs, solos aren't out, run out of balls and it's a forfeit. Asking for a friend, he says. I don't know. Sounds like your typical podunk tournament to me. Unlimited home runs, whether you got a screen or not. As far as ball and bat rules, whatever. If you got a screen, I don't know. It would be fun to play in. Probably boring to watch. I mean, you're going to get everybody and their brother out there with their home run derby bats. Me personally, I'd grab a senior bat and some evil long haul bomber balls and call it a day. But I don't know. Just so many different ways you could go with that. I don't know if it's if I'm supposed to say it's a good thing or a bad thing or whatever else. But yeah, that's my kind of outlook on it. It'd be fun to play and probably be pretty boring to watch. Let's see. Dane Norman. I know composite bats used to keep getting hotter until they eventually went boom. Do you think the new bats are still this way? I feel like my last couple of bats got hot and then went to duds after a few hundred hits. Maybe it's just me, though. I've never really experienced a bat turning into a dud other than just a handful of times. And I think it just had to do something with the bat itself because I just kept hitting it, trying to see if this thing is going to break or is it going to get better. And usually it ends up coming out of that. I don't know a whole lot about bats to know what would cause that or anything else. But I do know that I've had just a couple of bats do that to me. But for the most part, they do just keep getting better and better and better until they break. I still think that holds very true to bats today. Adam Fowler asks, you had said that your swing was kind of in a funk last year. My question is, do you think that it hurts you sometimes swinging all the different bats with, say, different balances and inloads? Also, that some bats just don't fit your swing. Don't get me wrong. We want to see you swing all the different bats because you would only do reviews of inloaded bats otherwise. Just curious. Yeah, that is true. I would review nothing but inloads. I don't mind a balanced bat. It's got to be the right kind of balanced bat to work for me. But I do definitely think that can wreak havoc with my swing. I don't feel like it did last year, but that's another reason that I like to finish with my gamers to get that feel back. Especially, if you're going with something from a subtle inload or maybe something that was balanced or just even a midload, something that didn't really suit me well. I do like to pick up my gamer and get just a handful of swings in just to get that feeling back of what a good bat, to me, what a good bat would feel like, something that I prefer would feel like, just so maybe you're not leaving on a poor confidence level because you fought a bat the entire time you hit with it. What bats do I have in my bag? How many cuts before I put them in the bag? And how many cuts do they have on them? The bats I have in my bag right now is a 16 flipper, the blue one. Got maybe 2,000 swings on it. Thing is absolutely bonkers. I've got a standard issue with probably close to 500 swings on it. And then I have the Eastern Wildfire Flex. Still fairly new. Probably gamer worthy. But as far as how many cuts on them before I put them in the bag, it all just depends on the bat. Generally speaking, a couple hundred swings for sure. With this new U-Trip stuff, 50 to 100, throw it in the bag and forget about it. All right, I got just a couple more questions. Give me just a second here, guys. I'm going to be gone for about 30 seconds. I need to go check on something, and I'll be right back. Chat in the live chat or something. Go do something. I'll be right back. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, that is going to conclude the podcast as I go check and see if my wife's plans were still on time. Everybody shows up. So, probably not going to be able to chat because I've got this crazy-ass 3-year-old that's going to come in here. Here she is right here. Come here, come here, come here. Come here, come here. Come here. Say, here. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hello. Turd. But all right, guys. Well, I appreciate you stopping in and checking out the podcast. Sorry I couldn't hang out and chill with you guys for a little bit. Maybe that's something I'll try and do. Maybe at the ball field or something this weekend if I get some free time. So I do like kind of chatting with you guys through the live chat and doing that thing. Okay, you can have a pink dress here in just a second, okay? Don't pull on it. Kids these days, I'm telling you. I got to go, guys. Love you guys. Thanks for stopping in and checking it out. Enjoy the podcast. Hope you did too. See you later.